So we are starting today with a inorganic chemistry's last chapter actually, which is called coordination compounds. And this topic is heavily connected with the previous topic of that is D block elements. In fact, D block elements, second topic you can say continuation is this one or application is this one. So we will be talking about different sorts of coordination compounds here, but we will see a development how coordination compounds come or what sort of compounds are these. Before that, we take up a small information on what are basically simple salts. Now, as we know, salts are going to be ionic compounds, like for example, NaCl, magnesium sulfate, calcium chloride, anything. Usually, these salts which we consider, they are all the containing the cations from either S block or some from D block and anions of different types. Major important thing is salts mostly are crystalline in nature. Most of them are water soluble to lesser or more extent. An important thing is whenever a salt dissolves in water, it produces corresponding ions. You can test these ions with certain specific characteristic reactions also. Like for example, if chloride is created in a substance solution, we can add silver nitrate and it will create silver chloride ka white precipitate. So for every anion or cation, there is what is known as a qualitative test available. Unfortunately, you are not going to the laboratory, but you have a whole lot of experiments on detecting ions in practicals. So that is what we study in chemistry as salts. When two or more salts are mixed together in certain ratio, they are dissolved in water, suppose, and later on they are allowed to crystallize. New compound is produced. I repeat the procedure again. We take two or more salts, dissolve them in water, then we allow to cool down the mixture to crystallize them. New compound is produced. Whatever we get here is known as molecular compound or addition compound. Now, these addition compounds which we get are of two types. They are called double salts or complex salts. This was the original name for coordinate compounds. Complex salts was the original name. Let us see what is the difference in both of them, double salt and complex salts. Double salts are those which can be in crystalline form, but when you dissolve in water, all the ions are separated once again. For example, if you have, let us say, carnallite, we had seen this as a ore of chlorine. So this is a formula of carnallite, KCl, MgCl2, 6 water of crystallization. When you dissolve carnallite in water, potassium cations are separated, magnesium cations are separated, 1 plus 2, 3 chlorides are separated. So although double salt is produced, still the ions don't have any special bonding with respect to each other. They are as free as they were earlier. Potash alum, the alum which we use at home, the alum, potash alum, you can see it contains potassium sulfate, aluminium sulfate, water of crystallization. Every ion is separated over here. More example, which you will be actually performing in laboratory, more salt, ferrous sulfate, ammonium sulfate, and water. You can clearly see that all these examples, they are obtained by mixing two different salts, potassium chloride, magnesium chloride, potassium sulfate, aluminum sulfate, and so on. But they have not created any bond between them. They just stayed together. When dissolved in water, separated very easily. This is called double salts. Let us come to the second one, complex salts. Here, once the salt are forming, they will create actually a molecule by forming coordinate bonds. So these are what we are going to study in the topic. For example, you can see an example here of ferrous cyanide mixed with potassium cyanide in certain ratio. It produces a compound K4FeCN6, which we call as potassium ferrocyanide. Now see the difference. When you ionize this in water, you can see ferrous ions does not get separated. Ferrous remain bonded to the cyanide group. This, what we write in the square bracket, is called coordinate complex, coordinate molecule, or coordinate compound. Let us see some more examples of this. This is another formula of coordinate complex, which you can see sulfate ions are getting separated, but copper with ammonia is not getting separated. More potassium ions are getting separated, HgI4 doesn't get. Silver and ammonia remains as complex, nitrate separates. You must have observed by now that coordinate complexes are written in square bracket. That indicates that there is a proper bonding between them and they cannot be separated very easily as other ions are separating. Moreover, square bracket के जो बाहर हम लोग ने लिखा है, that can be separated easily. Just you dissolve in water, that ion gets separated. That means in the square bracket and the outer ion, the bond is weaker. So water is easy to break that. Some famous naturally occurring coordinate complexes, which you have already heard, but we do not know that they are coordinate complexes. The one which is present in our body, hemoglobin, in plants, chlorophyll, and a very famous blue color shade known as Prussian blue. Many teachers and many students call this as Persian blue. They read it as Persian. It's not Persian, it's Prussian blue. The word Prussic indicates cyanide group. Prussic acid is hydrogen cyanide, it's a poison. So from cyanide, the name has come Prussian blue. It's not Persian blue, huh? The shade of blue color. So far, any doubt in any of the terms? I've just introduced the topic, name, compound, nothing more whatsoever.
So for the double salts to be formed,
Ah,
the anions of both the salts, do
yeah,
they need to be same?
not
Like,
at all. Bilkul nahi.
but in
Can
the
be any.
previous example, sir, it was the case.
Coincidentally, coincidentally. This was mere coincidence. In fact, the examples, all three I have shown, these are naturally occurring compounds. Potash, alum, carnallite, mohor, salt, they occur naturally. But there is no such condition at all. You can have, in fact, KCl with MgBr2 also you can get it. Potassium sulfate with aluminum chloride can form. Only thing, stability might be little up and down. But there is no such compulsion that double salt must have same anions. Just a coincidence over here. So let us begin with now the terms, different terms. In today's lecture, we'll be only doing all the terms needed to be used in the next topic. So today's lecture is most fundamental one. Every term which we study today is going to be used till the end of the chapter. Just ABCD we are learning today. First, the term which we use is coordinate entity or coordinate molecule. This will contain a metal atom or a metal ion, and it is known as central metal atom. It will be attached to either neutral molecules or ions, which are known with a Greek word ligand. Ligands indicate the group connected to the metal atom. Coordinated and coordination entity has to be always written in square bracket. For example, I have given here so many examples from your text. These are all coordinate complexes you can see. Coordinate entity, coordinate complex, coordinate molecule, जो बोलना है आप बोल सकते हो. स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट के अंदर जो लिखा है दैट इज द कोऑर्डिनेट एंटिटी. कोइंसिडेंटली मैंने जो अभी यहाँ पे एग्जांपल लिखे इसमें कुछ भी बाहर मैंने नहीं लिखा है. But of course, there might be outer ion possible in some cases. You can classify this on basis of different things. So one of the classification we are going to do is based on charge, Second, we are going to do based on the ligands connected to it. So let us do this thing first. If you consider some complex written like this, so two things are present. जो स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट में सबसे पहले लिखा रहता है, that is called central metal atom, and whatever is connected to the metal, that is known as ligand. So ligands are those species which are surrounding the central metal atom, or you can say bonded to the central metal atom. Just a small exercise for you. I will show here examples. आप लोग मुझे बोलो कि इसमें सेंट्रल मेटल एटम और लिगैंड कौन कौन से हैं। जैसे मैंने एक अभी आपको सॉल्व करके दिखाया है. You can tell me now this one. Which is the central metal atom here?
PT.
Platinum.
Platinum, PT. And ligands are which one?
Cl and H3.
Cl and NH3. Next, FeCN6 4 minus.
Fe is
Fe
central and
and
C.
ligands are cyanide ligands.
CN.
Next one, CO NH3 6 times. Cobalt and ligands are
NH.
NH3. So I hope everyone can recognize in a given complex which is the central metal and which is the ligand. You're as if you're learning a language. We have to learn the things. We have to recognize certain terms. So आपको central metal atom और ligands सिर्फ recognize करने आने चाहिए. अगर आपके पास अभी printed notes है, तो ये exercise मैंने printed notes के classwork से लिए that I'm solving over here. Most of those classwork questions I'm going to solve here. हाँ बोलो.
So what are ligands actually like?
Ligands, that's what I'm going to do. Within after this 2-3 slides, maybe we are going to do full detail on ligands. Just wait. Second is now classification of complex in second manner. First, on the basis of charge, we saw the two ways of classification are there. One based on charge, second based on types of ligands connected. So based on charge, they can be cationic complex. For example, you can see a complex with some positive charge on it. For example, the ones which I showed earlier, you can see the complexes have +3, +2, or +1 charges. Very easy to recognize. You can have anionic complex, wherein you can see the complex with a net negative charge on it. You can see complexes wherein there is no charge on it. So depending on the charge present, you can have three types. Let me make it a little easier one here or little more additional information. Suppose you get a cationic complex, you can recognize it this way. The complex is written in the square bracket and outside there will be some anion present. Anionic complex will be written as some initial element and then outside a complex. Neutral complex will be that which will be only square bracket, nothing on both the sides. Now what I have written here are like entire formulae. Instead, you can have a square bracket written with a charge. We can have a square bracket written with a charge, square bracket with no charge. So they can give in entire molecular form or they can give in ionic form. For example, if I take example from here itself, suppose this one I take. So इसका पूरा फॉर्मूला कैसे हो सकता है? CO NH3 6 times and outside Cl3. ये जो +3 चार्ज है उसको न्यूट्रलाइज करने के लिए हम लोगों ने Cl-3 लिखा है यहाँ पे, मतलब -3 चार्ज. सपोज आई टेक दिस वन, इसको हम लोग लिख सकते हैं K3 FeCN6, wherein +3 charge is this one, -3 is this one. लेकिन यहां पे कुछ अलग फॉर्मेट नहीं होगा. जो लिखा है फॉर्मेट वही कंप्लीट फॉर्मेट है. No ion is hidden over here. See that you understand this term very clearly. You can be asked to recognize a complex whether it is a cationic or anionic. अगर उन्होंने आयोनिक फॉर्म में दिया तो सबसे इजी है रिकॉग्नाइज करने के लिए, क्योंकि आपको चार्ज सीधा सीधा दिखाई देगा, +3 -3 एंड ऑल।
So can we write Cl3 on the right hand side?
किसमें, कहाँ पे, फर्स्ट में?
Yes, sir.
इस पे लिखना है क्या? राइट साइड में तो लिखा है।
Arre, sorry. In the K3 wala K3.
K3 में
So
Cl
can
कहाँ
we
पर
write
है?
it in the right hand side or the left hand?
In inorganic chemistry, always whenever you write a salt, it is cation first, anion later, isn't it? इसलिए कैटायन यहाँ पे, एनायन यहाँ पे कैटायन यहाँ पे, एनायन यहाँ पे। इनऑर्गेनिक का फंडा ऐसे होता है कि कैटायन सबसे पहले होता है, Na+Cl-। गॉट इट? इसलिए ये प्लस है, ये माइनस, ये K3 हम लोग इस तरफ नहीं लिख सकते। अंडरस्टूड नोटेशन?
Okay. Sir.
जिनको चाहिए इसका स्क्रीनशॉट लेके रखना, ये थोड़े एडिशनल पॉइंट्स हैं।
Is a neutral complex as molecule usually then?
न्यूट्रल कॉम्प्लेक्सिज्म, सी ये भी मॉलिक्यूल ही है, पूरा देखेंगे ना, ये भी पूरा देखेंगे तो मॉलिक्यूल ही है वैसे, लेकिन K3 और इसमें आयोनिक बॉन्ड प्रेजेंट है, और Fe और Cn के बीच में कोऑर्डिनेट बॉन्ड प्रेजेंट है। लेकिन इसमें क्या होगा, ये भी पूरा मॉलिक्यूल है, लेकिन ये सब में सिर्फ कोऑर्डिनेट बॉन्ड प्रेजेंट है। समझा डिफरेंस करेक्टली?
So sir, alone it will be only neutral complexes are
हाँ, न्यूट्रल कॉम्प्लेक्स सभी मॉलिक्यूल्स ही है वैसे, अलोन, या दिस इज फुल मॉलिक्यूल ओनली।
so but then with the charge isn't it called like a ion only then? Like
If
anion
you are
or
considering
cation?
only FeCN6, then it is
Yes, sir,
called,
only.
then it is called negative complex or anionic complex, right? It's an incomplete part, na? FeCN6 is incomplete because the charge is not balanced yet. Understood?
So sir, neutral complex we can't call it as a complex ion na then?
It's not complex ion. This word is incorrect.
Yes, sir.
A complex which has no net charge. Yes. चलो, any other doubt? All terms are clear. How to recognize? आपको ये पहले सबसे पहले आना चाहिए। We go to second way of classifying, that is on the basis of the ligands. Abhi, just go back to us previous slide once again. Those who had doubt about ligands. See, in central metal atom is first element. What you can see like cobalt, platinum, nickel. उसको जो ग्रुप कनेक्टेड होगा वो सभी ग्रुप को हम लोग नाम देते हैं लिगैंड्स। जैसे यहां पे देखो, ये 3 क्लोरीन लिगैंड्स आर देयर, 3 ammonia are present. Here 4 carbon monoxide are ligands. So ligands are just groups which can be atoms, which can be group of atoms. These are connected to the central metal atom. That is called ligands. So based on which ligands are connected, they are of 2 types. First is called homoleptic complexes. These are the complexes in which only one type of ligands are connected. Like nickel is connected to only ammonia, cobalt connected to only ammonia, Fe connected to only cyanide ligand. On the contrary, heteroleptic complexes, you can see the metal is connected to multiple ligands, chlorine as well as water, chlorine as well as ammonia. See that this slide is okay with everyone. Homoleptic, heteroleptic ligands, complexes, sorry. When a metal, central metal, is connected to same type of ligands, only one type, then it is called homoleptic. If it is connected to different ligands, heteroleptic. सबको रिकॉग्नाइज करने आ रहा है बरोबर से? मेटल कौन सा है, लिगैंड कौन सा है, समझ में आ गया तो ये टॉपिक समझेगा। तो आपको सिर्फ एक ही लिगैंड दिखा, अमोनिया एक ही लिगैंड है तो होमोलेप्टिक, क्लोरीन भी है, वाटर भी है, हेटेरोलेप्टिक। एनी डाउट? शैल वी प्रोसीड फर्दर? एवरीवन इज क्लियर विद दिस? Now we come to ligands and how we classify them. Here also classification can be done on basis of several criterion. One is based on charge. So there can be most commonly neutral ligands, wherein molecules are neutral and they can form a coordinate bond. Most common examples are carbon monoxide, ammonia, water. This is repeated again by mistake. Nitric oxide, hydroxylamine. These are usually what we use in our syllabus ligands list. Second can be anionic ligands. Cyanide, nitrite anion, hydroxide anion, nitrate anion. I have written here fluoride, लेकिन all halides work. Fluoride, chloride, bromide, all can work as ligands. Next is cationic ligands, which is extremely rare. अपने syllabus में एक ही हम लोग एक चैप्टर में आएगा, बाकी cationic ligands नहीं आते ज्यादा. एक तो है हाइड्राजीनियम, नाइट्रोनियम एंड नाइट्रोसोनियम. इसमें से सिर्फ नाइट्रोसोनियम आयन हम लोग को आता है. And if you have well read up till now,
Hydrazinium.
this is mentioned nitrosonium in brown ring test of NO2 group. आप लोग फिर से P block group 15 में जाके चेक करो, आपको ये नाइट्रोसोनियम वहां दिखेगा. This is present in the brown ring test of nitrite group. Highly recommended that you should by heart this entire list. Cationic में से सिर्फ लास्ट वाला चाहिए, लेकिन एनायन और न्यूट्रल तो अपने को पूरा लिस्ट लगता है. और भी ज्यादा आएंगे, बट ये बेसिक लिस्ट है पहले. नेक्स्ट, अनदर वे ऑफ क्लासिफाइंग इज बेस्ड ऑन द डोनर एटम और डोनर साइट. अभी और थोड़ा लिगेंड्स के बारे में डिटेल में जाते हैं. जिनको और भी डाउट था, ये पॉइंट देख लो. जो लिगेंड का एटम ग्रुप होता है, इट विल ऑलवेज कंटेन वन लोन पेयर. अनशेयर्ड पेयर का सिंपल वर्ड है लोन पेयर. And by donating that lone pair to the metal atom, it will form a coordinate bond. Coordinate bond का पुराना नाम है dative bond. So the atom which donates the electron pair is called donor atom, donor site, or coordinating atom. Let us take an example. This example you can see nitrogen lone pair is getting donated to boron. So nitrogen is a donating atom here. And if you remember, element which donates electron pair is called a Lewis base. So all the ligands are going to be Lewis bases. Also, by donation of this electron pair, you can see we have shown a coordinate bond here. Coordinate bond is shown with arrows. So nitrogen is forming a coordinate bond with boron. Go through this slide. Any doubt, we will go ahead. Otherwise, हर एक केस में आपको कौन सा डोनर एटम है ये बाय हार्ट होना चाहिए. मैं अभी इसके बाद जो टेबल्स दिखाऊंगा उसमें वो लिखा हुआ है, तो यू बेटर रिमेंबर इट वेरी वेल. Now we come to another term called denticity. The term denticity comes from the word, what you can imagine, dental, teeth. So the number of donor atoms in a ligand capable of forming coordinate bond is called denticity. ऐसे नहीं कि हर एक मॉलिक्यूल में एक ही एटम हो सकता है. It can be more than one also. So based on denticity, ligands are classified as monodentate and polydentate. So let us go in detail. Monodentate ligands. These ligands will have single donor atom. This is a table from a book I have taken directly. You can see here water molecule, donor atom will be oxygen. Ammonia, donor atom is nitrogen. So just to give an idea how they actually react, how they actually form the bond. So for example, if you imagine a complex of copper, NH3, 4 times plus 2. This is suppose a complex. So in this case, copper is present. Nitrogen of ammonia is donating electrons to copper atom, copper ion. So we will show it in this manner. and this is the way the complex is written. This becomes the full picture of the complex with +2 charge. So every complex we have is something like this. So when you consider ammonia, the molecule is like this in geometrical shape. ये जो इस पे लोन पेयर है, वो लोन पेयर इसका डोनेशन हो सकता है. Similarly, you can have a donation like this from water molecule. Water has 2 lone pairs, but only one of it can be used for donation. So जिस किस में एक एटम डोनेट करने वाला है, उसे हम लोग कहते हैं मोनोडेंटेट ligands. Similar to this, you can have bidentate ligands also. Tridentate, tetradentate, hexadentate. As many atoms present can be there. Let me show you one
Can you
example
explain this
here.
again?
See, ammonia molecule usually has one lone pair of electrons. That lone pair is donated to the central metal atom, like copper, for example. So one molecule is forming how many bonds over here? Only one. So if it is forming one bond, then it is called monodentate ligand. Monodentate. Is the term clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt? ये क्लियर है सबको? कुछ प्रॉब्लम किसी को? Shall we go for bidentate? मोनोडेंटेट के बाद चलो ये एग्जांपल देखो बाइडेंटेट का. इथिलीन डायअमाइन. इसमें नाइट्रोजन पर लोन पेयर होता है. सो दिस मॉलिक्यूल इज कॉल्ड इथिलीन डायअमाइन. सो अगर निकेल है और वो इसके साथ बॉन्ड फॉर्म कर रहा है, सो दिस इज NH2 CH2 CH2 एंड NH2. तो अभी ये नाइट्रोजन जो दोनों है वो निकेल के साथ बॉन्ड फॉर्म कर सकते हैं. सो हियर 2 atoms are capable of forming coordinate bond. So this is called, that's why, bidentate ligand. सबको टर्म्स क्लियर हो रहे हैं? अभी आपको लिस्ट आएगा, वो लिस्ट आपको पूरा बाय हार्ट करना पड़ेगा. देन ओनली यू कैन सर्वाइव इन द चैप्टर. जिनको इसका स्क्रीनशॉट लेना है ले सकते हो. ये स्ट्रक्चर्स की आपको जरूरत नहीं है, आपको सिर्फ समझने के लिए स्ट्रक्चर दिया, आपको सिर्फ ग्रुप्स याद रखने. हम लोग हमेशा फॉर्मूला इस पैटर्न में ही लिखेंगे, ऐसे डिटेल स्ट्रक्चर एक्चुअली हम लोग नहीं लिखते. So many are there over here, but majority of course are needed for us. That's why I've given the list. HSC students can do only the list of groups which are there in the GTB. उनका थोड़ा लिस्ट कम है, थोड़े से कम रहेंगे, ज्यादा कम नहीं है. Maybe 2-3 are missing in their GTB list. चलो, after this we come to polydentate. And polydentate, of course, 2 or more than 2 will be there. So इसमें सबसे पहले हम लोग करते हैं बाइडेंटेट वाला लिस्ट. अभी इसमें डोनर एटम बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. जैसे इथिलीन डायमाइन मैंने अभी आपको दिखाया था, इथिलीन डायमाइन. फिर और एक है ऑक्सालेट, ग्लाइसिनेट, एसिटाइल एसीटोनेट. इसमें से हर एक में देखो आप अलग अलग डोनर एटम्स है. दिस लिस्ट यू नीड टू रिमेंबर. मोर लिस्ट, अनदर वन, डाइमिथाइल ग्लाइऑक्साइन. अगर आपको याद है थोड़े दिन पहले हम लोग ने निकेल DMG करके कॉम्प्लेक्स सुना था,
Yes, sir.
चार्ज ट्रांसफर कॉम्प्लेक्सेस में. तो वो कोऑर्डिनेट कॉम्प्लेक्स ही था, वो ये है. दिस इज नाइट्रोजन एंड ऑक्सीजन. ये लास्ट के 2 है, ये मोस्टली आपको कहीं रिक्वायर्ड नहीं होते, रेयरली दे आर सीन इन द टॉपिक्स. देन कम्स terdentate. Ter means three groups. So this is one molecule where 3 nitrogen atoms are forming bonds. Then tetradentate, wherein 4 amine groups are present and they are creating the bonds. More, you can have hexadentate, जिसमें सबसे फेमस मॉलिक्यूल है इथिलीन डायमाइन टेट्राएसिटिक एसिड, पॉपुलरली नोन एज EDTA. अभी EDTA में कौन से ग्रुप डोनेट कर सकते हैं और उसका कॉम्प्लेक्स ऐसे हो सकता है. इसमें डोनेटिंग करने वाले ग्रुप्स कौन से हैं देखो. नंबर 1 इन दिस वन इज 1 and 2, these 2 नाइट्रोजन एटम्स, और ये लास्ट के जो ऑक्सीजन एटम्स है they are going to donate 4 oxygen. So this becomes a hexadentate. आपको EDTA का स्ट्रक्चर याद रखना है, लेकिन इस कॉम्प्लेक्स का स्ट्रक्चर बिल्कुल बाय हार्ट नहीं करना है. इट इज ओनली फॉर अंडरस्टैंडिंग आई हैव गिवन. देखो ये 2 नाइट्रोजन और 1 2 3 4, so it's a 6-membered ring they are creating. Another way of classifying ligands is called ambidentate ligands. Ambidentate. These ligands, the word MP or amphi you must have heard, like amphibians is one of the terms. Same way, one ligand can have 2 different donor atoms. दोनों साइड से वो बॉन्ड कर सकता है. ऐसा हम लोगों ने ऑलरेडी ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री में देखा था. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, यू कैन हैव नाइट्रो एंड नाइट्रीटो लिगैंड्स. डिफरेंस देखो, नाइट्रोजन मेटल के साथ बॉन्ड फॉर्म कर रहा है, यहां पर ऑक्सीजन मेटल के साथ बॉन्ड फॉर्म कर सकता है. तो एक ही ग्रुप 2 अलग डायरेक्शन से बॉन्ड फॉर्म कर सकता है. तो इनके जब कॉम्प्लेक्स हम लोग लिखते हैं तो वो अलग स्टाइल में रहेंगे. जैसे ये कॉम्प्लेक्स देखो, इसमें ONO लिखा है, मतलब ये नाइट्रीटो वाला ग्रुप है, और इसी को हम लोग अगर NO2 लिखेंगे तो इसका मतलब होगा ये फर्स्ट वाला है, नाइट्रो. So these are ambidentate. You have 2 more examples like this. One is cyano and isocyano, and more you have is thiocyaneto and isothiocyaneto. These are called ambidentate ligands. Just give me 1 minute, please. So in ambidentate, we have only 3 examples in syllabus: nitro-nitrito, cyano-isocyano, and thiocyaneto-isothiocyaneto. If you remember, organic chemistry में हम लोग ने ये दोनों examples किए हैं. Only they are with respect to organic chemistry. When we use potassium cyanide for hydrolysis, we get cyanide compounds. With AgCN, we get isocyanide. वही same है. वैसे ही KNO2 and AgNO2, you have 2 reagents. These 2 reagents are same in organic chemistry also. Next one is called, I have deliberately written the pronunciation in the bracket. Otherwise, you will pronounce it as chelate. It's chelate and not chelate. Now, what are chelating ligands? These will contain at least 2 ligand groups or more than 2 donor atoms. So they can be bidentate, terdentate, polydentate. And moreover, they will create a kind of a ring structure. The word keel in Greek language means crab's claw. So as the crab connects to the prey and holds it very firmly, these complexes are extremely strong complexes. उनको break करना बहुत difficult होता है. That's why scientists gave a name to it as chelating ligands. Let us see one of the example of a chelate coming from ethylene diamine. So you can see when ethylene diamine is forming these bonds with metal, देखो ये ring structure create हो गया. This is a 5-membered ring created. For example, like copper with ethylene diamine, it is written like this. So on left side, you can see there is a 5-membered ring created. Right side also 5-membered ring created. These are called chelating ligands. The compounds produced are called chelate. Go through it. We have 2 more slides on details of chelates.
So what is En in the bracket?
En starts for this ethylene diamine का shortcut.
Okay. sir.
Any other doubt? Chalo, let us see some more information on chelates. Another example I am giving here. वैसे ही है En stands for ethylene diamine. तो ये स्ट्रक्चर देखो, कोबाल्ट सेंटर में है, यहाँ पे इस तरफ एक ब्लू कलर में इथिलीन डायमाइन लिखा है, ऊपर भी एक इथिलीन डायमाइन है, यहाँ पर भी एक है. You will find these very interesting structures because they follow certain geometries. So by unit number 3 and all, you will learn about geometries. So then you will be more clear about it, that why are we writing such structures. Basically they follow hybridizations like sp3d2 and all. So वो डिटेल लेने के लिए और थोड़ा 2-3 लेक्चर चाहिए, you will come to know. Don't worry about these structural features and all right now. We will learn about them. Only focus today on all the terms we are doing. Next is stability. Chelates are always more stable than regular non-chelate complexes. Stability also of chelates depends on the size of the ring. अब ये size of ring देखने जैसा है, यहाँ पे थोड़ा observation correct करो. If you form a 3-membered ring, it will be less stable than a 4-membered ring, which will be less stable than a 5-membered ring. लेकिन आगे साइन देखो कैसे है. 5-membered ring is supposed to be the most stable one. अगर 6-membered ring form हो गई तो वो less stable होगी. 7-member तो उससे भी less stable. Now, what sort of ring structures I am referring here? I don't have a diagram, so I will draw and show it to you. See, imagine we have a metal and there is a group present here, suppose written as AA. And this is forming a chelate. So can you see in this entire ring, there are only 3 atoms present, M, A, and A. This is called 3-membered chelate ring. Instead, if you have like this, sorry, something like this, then you can see you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is called 4-membered ring chelate. Then you have suppose 1, 2, 3, 4 connected to metal 5. This is called 5-membered chelate. You can see the stability goes in this direction. ये सबसे ज्यादा स्टेबल किलेट होता है. अभी अगर हम लोग ने रिंग इससे बड़े साइज का बनाने की कोशिश की, something of this format, where you can see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-membered or larger than this, stability goes on decreasing ahead. This is what we call as stability of chelates. जिनको चाहिए इसका स्क्रीनशॉट लेके रखना, क्योंकि आपको ऐसे टाइप के क्वेश्चंस जेई और नीट में आ सकते हैं, where they ask you about the stability.
So this is only the structures, na? Like मतलब only 2 are participating in coordinate.
Yes, always correct. That's correct. Other elements are part of the other side, like neutral. For example, इसका एक famous example हम लोग ने अभी देखा था, CH2 CH2 and ethylene diamine En. So इसमें ये दो नाइट्रोजन सिर्फ बॉन्ड फॉर्म करेंगे. This becomes a 5-membered ring, which we write as Cu and En, ethylene diamine, like this. Other groups which we have written ahead, they are not forming any coordinate bond, they are just merely present. Usually, ये सब cases में most of the time bidentate ligands ही रहते हैं. देखो सभी लिगेंड्स बाइडेंटेट ही है, सिर्फ बाइडेंटेट के अलावा और कितने एडिशनल एटम्स है, दैट विल इंक्रीज द साइज ऑफ द ग्रुप्स. Done. Shall we go ahead? Now, why the question is why these chelating ligands are more stable than these non-chelating complex. ये जो sentence लिखा है, what is the reason for it? Let us see this, and the reason lies in thermodynamics. In fact, imagine zinc is forming a complex, two types: zinc ethylene diamine and zinc tetramine ammonia. This first complex is found to be more stable than the second one. For understanding, we break down the complex. जब ये complex break होगा, तो एक zinc का आयन और दो ethylene diamine, total 3 particles are produced. But when you break down this one, there will be 5 particles produced. So recollect from thermodynamics, any reaction where number of particles, disorder, chaos, entropy increases, that reaction is always favorable. So second reaction में delta S is much more increasing than the first one. इसका मतलब है इसका breaking ज्यादा favorable है, इसका मतलब ये complex unstable है, इसमें ज्यादा particle form नहीं हो रहे. So this complex is difficult to break, not favorable. That means complex is stable. Read the whole answer. Any other explanation needed, please let me know.
So
थोड़ा
it does not
different type
matter
का
about the
आपका
structure.
स्ट्रक्चर पे डिपेंड नहीं, स्ट्रक्चर पे डिपेंड नहीं होगा. अगर दो मतलब 3 मेंबर्ड और 4 मेंबर्ड में कंपेयर कर रहे हैं, then we have to use the earlier rule. 3 membered is lesser than 4 member, that one. So you can compare two chelates based on size. Chelate, non-chelate. Chelate is more stable than non-chelate.
So but then which is more favorable, like particle numbers or the structure, which to take first?
That's what I said. So depends on the things. One second, I'll show you. Suppose we have a complex of this pattern, MAA2, and on breaking, it is producing M and 2 times this. So 3 particles are produced. Then I have MAAA2. So this is producing 2 AAA. Here also 3 particles. I cannot compare because particles are same. Then what I will see is this is a 3-member complex and this is a 4-member complex. So this is more stable than this one. तो since इसमें क्या होगा कि आपके पार्टिकल सेम रहेंगे, though I cannot compare delta S over here, so I will check ring size. लेकिन अगर मेरे पास ऐसे कॉम्प्लेक्स है, then it is producing this and 4 ammonia. So this will create 5 particles. So I can now compare particle and then I will say this is more stable. Comparison समझा? So chelate में comparison है तो ring देखो, chelate non chelate में है तो you see particle size, particle number. Check if the logic is clear.
So is it possible for both to be same only, like particle also same and ring also
Can
same?
be. If both are same, then you need to go for the data of delta S value, then delta G value. Thermodynamic calculation हो गया फिर वो. Then depending on thermodynamics, depending on the value of K, Ka, Kb, all those things, then it comes. That becomes like a pure mathematical calculation, experimental value. वो सेक्शन हम लोग सेकंड लास्ट टॉपिक करेंगे. आपके बुक में है स्टेबिलिटी ऑफ कॉम्प्लेक्सेस करके सेक्शन है, देखो तभी हम लोग वो एस्पेक्ट करने वाले हैं. The one where we can't explain by this rule and we need to really go for the values. There is a section, perhaps page number 60 के आसपास कहीं तो होगा. Second last unit. Next we come to flexidentate ligands. ये section GTB में नहीं है, ये सिर्फ NCERT का है. Flexidentate, flexible. दैट मीन्स ऐसा लिगैंड जो अपना डेंटिसिटी चेंज कर सकता है एक ही मॉलिक्यूल का. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ यू टेक सल्फेट आयन, लुक एट दिस sulfate in some cases behave like a bidentate, and in some cases it behaves like a monodentate also. This is called flexidentate. Same way, carbonate can sometimes form monodentate, carbonate can sometimes form bidentate also. So sulfate and carbonate are examples of flexidentate. One ligand which can sometimes show bidenticity, sometimes show monodenticity, that is called flexidentate. Last 2-3 terms are left, that is called coordination number. कोऑर्डिनेशन नंबर, ये टर्म कल भी आपने सुना था, लेकिन वो सॉलिड स्टेट में था, उसका मीनिंग ऑब्वियसली अलग है. दिस इज समथिंग डिफरेंट. कोऑर्डिनेशन नंबर इज दैट नंबर ऑफ लिगेंड्स, और rather more accurately, number of sigma bonds produced with the central metal atom. Let us take example clearly. AgCN twice. So 2 cyanide groups are present. So coordination number of silver will be 2. Here copper is connected with 4 ammonia group. So coordination number of copper is 4. Remember, coordination number ये टर्म हम लोग उस मेटल के लिए यूज करते हैं, अमोनिया के लिए नहीं. अमोनिया के लिए हम लोग डेंटिसिटी यूज करेंगे, मेटल के लिए कोऑर्डिनेशन नंबर. Cr connected with 6 water, that makes it coordination number of chromium at 6. Now check here. Can anyone tell me what will be the coordination number of cobalt here?
6.
6.
4 ammonia,
4 plus 1 plus 1.
1 plus 1 water plus 1 bromine, that gives us 6. Please do not count external NO3 group. स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट के बाहर जो रहेगा वो बिल्कुल काउंट नहीं होता है, because that doesn't involve a coordinate bond. Now one tricky example. Look at this. यहाँ पे अभी Fe is connected with C2O4 3 times. जिसको डिटेल पता नहीं है वो बोलेगा इसका कोऑर्डिनेशन नंबर है 3, but answer is 6 because C2O4 is a bidentate ligand. So one C2O4, you can see the structure, Fe connected to one C2O4. So one C2O4 has connected 2 bonds, second C2O4 another 2 bonds, third C2O4 another 2. So Fe is connected to 6 bonds in total. अभी आपके शायद समझ में आएगा कि आपको अगर वो डेंटिसिटी वाला टेबल याद नहीं है तो आप ये प्रॉब्लम में मार खाओगे, क्योंकि ये प्रॉब्लम्स पूरे डेंटिसिटी पे कनेक्टेड है. Any doubt so far? You have a lot of work to do in this topic. Initially, first 2-3 units are very heavy, क्योंकि काफी नए टर्म्स आपको इंट्रोड्यूस हो रहे हैं.
So what's the name of C2O4?
Oxalate. C2O4 is coming from oxalic acid. Oxalic acid is देखिए ऑक्सालिक एसिड है COOH, सिंगल बॉन्ड COOH. तो इसमें से हम लोग ने अगर H को निकाल दिया, so this is left over like this. So you can see ये ग्रुप का स्ट्रक्चर हो जाएगा C डबल बॉन्ड O, O माइनस, C डबल बॉन्ड O, O माइनस. देखो ये वाला है वो COO, COO. तो ये ऑक्सीजन लिगेंड फॉर्म करेगा बॉन्ड. तो ऐसे देखो ये एक स्ट्रक्चर इस टाइप से, यहां से दूसरा और यहां से तीसरा. ऑक्सालिक एसिड का आयन ऑक्सालेट आयन, मॉलिक्यूल में हम लोग लिखते हैं C2O4 लाइक दिस. आपको कभी कभी ये इस तरह से भी लिखा हुआ दिखेगा, इस तरह से OX इज ऑक्सालेट. जैसे हम लोग EN लिखते हैं, इथिलीन डायामाइन. दिस इज वेरी पॉपुलर वे ऑफ राइटिंग इन कोऑर्डिनेशन कंपाउंड्स. जिनको स्क्रीनशॉट चाहिए ले सकते हैं. फ्राइडे लेक्चर में आज के लेक्चर के ऊपर टेस्ट आएगा आपको, गूगल फॉर्म टेस्ट। ये प्लीज मुझे अभी के अभी तुरंत आपको बाय हार्ट करके रखना है, क्योंकि ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है। यू हैव टू वर्क अ लिटिल हार्ड इन दिस वीक परहैप्स, क्योंकि आपका वो भी टॉपिक चल रहा है टेस्ट के लिए, ये भी थोड़ा आपको काम करना पड़ेगा। नेक्स्ट इज characteristics coming from coordination number. Coordination number is a property of the metal, and if you check the periodic table, the values go as low as 2 and as high as 10. लेकिन हम लोग जो यूजुअली अपने सिलेबस में करते हैं, they are all between 4 and 6 mostly. Lighter transition metal prefer usually 4 and 6. Heavier can go up to like 8 number also. Group 5 metal like vanadium, niobium, tantalum, they can form very high numbers like 6 and 8. Certain metal can show variable coordination numbers also, like cobalt, nickel, iron can show 4 as well as 6, and number 6 is very common with so many of them. अपने सिलेबस में मोस्टली यही सब मेटल्स आएंगे. So unit 3 onwards we'll be doing these things about metals and all details. Then comes charge of the complex and oxidation number. Charge finding is not a very difficult thing. You can see actually in the example also where is the charge. For example, you can see in this one the charge is 4 minus. Oxidation number, if you remember from 11th standard, redox reaction में हम लोग जैसे charge find करते थे, oxidation number, same method we are going to follow here. Only problem is आपको ligands के charge पता होने चाहिए. So for example, look at this one, Ni NH3 6 times 2 plus. They will ask you a question, nickel oxidation number to find. So we will consider nickel oxidation number as X. Ammonia is a molecule, so its charge is 0. So now you form an algebraic equation here. X plus 0, total charge is plus 2. Calculate the value. X is plus 2. So oxidation number of nickel is plus 2. Go through this. I'm solving more examples. Now let us take this one, NiCN4 2 minus. So here nickel oxidation number we have to find. We'll consider it as X. Cyanide, as you know, is an anion. So its charge is, there is a mistake here, it should be -1. So this is X into 4 times -1, which is equal to -2. That is X minus 2 plus 4 on this side. So nickel charge is coming as plus 2. More example, NiCO4. Nickel oxidation number, let us say X. Carbon monoxide is a molecule, charge is 0. Also, total charge you can see is 0, is a neutral complex.
Neutral.
So answer will be 0. Let us take some problems based on this. These are from your textbook only. First problem. A complex is made from cobalt plus 2, contains 4 ammonia groups and 2 chloride ligands. Find the formula overall, find the overall charge on the complex. So they are telling us we have complex as CO NH3 4. ये कैसे लिखा मैंने कोबाल्ट को लिखा
4
4
NH3
ammonia
and 2 Cl minus.
Cl. लेकिन अभी चार्ज फाइंड करना बाकी है. सो टोटल चार्ज कैसे आएगा? देखो, कोबाल्ट का चार्ज 2, अमोनिया इज न्यूट्रल, क्लोराइड इज -2. सो आंसर बिकम्स 0. सो द ओवरऑल फॉर्मूला रिमेन्स लाइक दिस. अगर यहाँ पे आंसर +1 आता था तो आई वुड हैव रिटन +1 हियर. इफ आंसर इज -3, आई वुड हैव रिटन -3 हियर. This is level 1 problem. Let me show you level 2 problem of this. Write different formulae possible with cobalt plus 3 having coordination number 6, and different combinations are given to us. All of you, please pay attention. First, let us start with cobalt with 6 ammonia. So cobalt is written 6 ammonia. अभी कोबाल्ट पर चार्ज +3 है, अमोनिया का चार्ज 0 है, तो चार्ज होगा +3. Anyone who has doubt, please stop me before showing the next one. Next is cobalt with 6 chloride. So cobalt 6 chloride. अभी चार्ज देखो, ये +3, ये होगा -6.
-6.
So +3 -6, total charge is -3. Now they have told us to take ammonia as well as chloride, but total number should not exceed 6. So what sort of complex we can create here? Instead of displaying, let me
It's a
CO,
complex.
CONH3 4Cl2.
okay, CO. We have to take NH3 as well as
4.
Cl, and total should be 6.
Yes, sir.
Let me give it one way like this. What you said is correct, 4 and 2. Start this way. You start with 5 and 1. There will be multiple answers.
Yes, sir.
4 and 2. Then there can be
3 and
3.
3.
3 here, 3 here. Go on decreasing ammonia, go on increasing chloride. 2 and 4 and 1 and 5. Now we are left to calculate the charge. Cobalt +3, chloride -1. 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 Have you all understood how we calculate the thing? This is a question from NCERT, even copied in GTB also. So several type of complexes are possible in this with different combinations. These questions are there in our classwork book में, तो वही मैंने solve करके आपको यहाँ दिया है. Next term comes is coordination polyhedron. That means nothing but the geometry. This is the spatial arrangement. Spatial means related to space. So arrangement in space of ligand atoms. So you can have different coordination numbers based on polyhedron. For example, you can have 4. So when 4 ligands are connected, they can be either tetrahedral or they can be square planar. When it is 5, it can be either trigonal bipyramidal or square pyramidal. And when it is 6, it has to be octahedral. In unit number 4, we will do in the topic that we talk about sp3, dsp2, sp3d2, sp3d3, these kind of hybridizations. So we'll connect all these things later on with hybridization also. Last concept for today, effective atomic number. This topic is there discussed in GTB. In CRT, they've just touched the topic, but in NEET and JE, they've asked questions of this part. This is like a problem or a formula. Please focus. I hope you are not sleeping, everyone. This is the total number of electrons present around a central metal and calculated as the sum of the electrons of metal, iron, and electrons donated. The formula for this is EAN equal to Z minus X plus Y, wherein Z is the atomic number, X is the electron lost, and Y is the electrons gained from the metal. Let me explain this with an example first. Then we will see the problems. Please focus. CuNH3 4 times 2 plus is a complex. Listen very carefully and answer some questions. What is the atomic number of copper? It's 29.
29.
That means copper must be containing 29 electrons with it.
Yes.
But what is the oxidation number of copper over here? It's +2. क्योंकि अमोनिया
Yes.
का चार्ज 0 है तो कॉपर का चार्ज +2. तो +2 का मतलब है कॉपर ने 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन का लॉस किया. That's why it became +2. Each ligand donates 2 electrons, 1 electron pair. So there are 4 ligands present here. So they must have donated 8 electrons. So copper originally had 29 electrons, lost 2 electrons, but gained 8 electrons. So this is 27 minus 8, 35. Oh, so 27 plus 8, that's 35. This number is called effective atomic number. So the process is these 4 steps. Find atomic number, that is called Z. Find its charge, that is called X. Find its number of electrons accepted from ligands Y. So EAN equal to Z minus X plus Y. Anybody has any doubt in this process? हर एक पॉइंट पहले वाले पॉइंट से कनेक्टेड है, यू कैन सी.
Yes, sir.
Example 1. I am taking an example of cobalt NH3 6 times 3 plus. Atomic number of cobalt 27. Oxidation number. So X is 3, Z is 27. 6 ligands are donating 12 electrons. So EAN comes
36.
to 36. More example. NiCO4. Nickel 28. ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर जो हम लोग ने पहले स्लाइड्स पे कैलकुलेट किया था 0.
0.
Then X is there for 0. 4 ligands are donating 8 electrons together. 28 minus 0 plus 8, that's 36. From this EAN calculation, the scientist called Neville Sidgwick suggested a rule known as EAN rule in 1927. He said that this EAN what you see, जो हम लोग को कैलकुलेट करके नंबर मिल रहा है, that number is always equal to the atomic number of the next inert gas.
Oh, yes.
So helium, neon, argon तो हम लोग को लगेगा नहीं, लेकिन देखो हर
36.
टाइम आंसर 36 आ रहा था. So if you are having from 4D series, it will match to 54. If your transition element is from 5D series, it will go to 86. Most probably we will need in our syllabus 36 number, but you can get answers from these also. EAN rule does not apply every time correctly. There are cases where it fails. So I will show you both the ways where it works, where it fails also. So let us see here this example. ZnNH3 4 times. So I'm just showing you the procedure once again. And the answer comes out to be 36.
36.
EAN rule obeyed. Then FeCN6 वाले में EAN rule is not obeyed. Answer 35.
Even in the copper example
Yes,
that we
the
had
one
done.
which I showed you. Yes.
CuNH3.
So just few examples I have collected. अभी ये थोड़ा higher वाला लिया है मैंने, platinum 78 वाला. So 86 it matches with
Rn.
radon. And here also I have taken from the next series. This is not obeyed. So there are cases where it's obeyed, not obeyed. So they ask you in exam questions, which of the following example obeys EAN rule? So in ABCD आपको workout करके देखना है ये कैसे आता है. Okay. Lot of students today have